All right. Hey, everybody. All right. If y'all are watching on Facebook, feel free to hop on the Zoom link with us. I will put it in the chat. And let us know what wins y'all are having this week. How's everything going? And how can we support y'all? Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
Good, Megan. How are you today?
I am good. Hey,
Hey, good
everybody.
morning.
Hey, Kyle, how are you?
I'm alive. How are you guys doing?
That's important. Good. I'm good.
It is an important step.
Yep.
The good news is I have a whole 10 minutes in between this and the other call now. So I will have to jump off to that one pretty quickly, but I can go through some of the initial details here, if that's helpful.
Yeah.
And then we can leave it off where you'll be able to talk to everybody about their wins, because that'll be pretty exciting.
Yep.
So
Sounds
go ahead
good.
and get that running. Okay. So go ahead and get this up so that everybody can see the start of this. And we'll get through what we can today. So a couple people thought this might be some helpful insights. So I went and pulled a bunch of information from the business principles. And there are a lot of them that are variations of things that you guys have probably heard before. So starting with having a clear vision and being willing to do what it takes to be able to get there, being willing to take risks and not be afraid to fail. If you want to find a little bit of humor, look up some kind of a fail compilation for SpaceX rockets and things blowing up. And so a lot of people juxtapose that with interviews with him saying, I don't fear failure. And that's a really, really important point. So probably any mistakes or difficulties or challenges that you guys will have won't be at that kind of scale and won't involve rockets blowing up as they come back down to land. So to be clear and fair, that's a hard problem. And it's always going to be a hard problem the way that it sits. So focus on creating something that has a positive impact on the world. That's a big thing, especially for him. But in order to do some of this, you have to be able to surround yourself with a talented and motivated team, because he'll tell you over and over and over again, a company is just a team of people pulled together to produce either a product or a service that's valuable. So there's also an aspect of working harder and being persistent, as well as continually innovating. So what things are going to be pushing the boundaries of what you guys are doing. So that seems in some senses like a thing that's not very sensible for bookkeeping, but there actually are a number of applications, and we'll get there. Believing that you can actually face the skepticism and doubt in others and do the thing that you're doing. So getting past that level of imposter syndrome is really, really important. That's some of where we're here to help you with the calls. not being afraid to challenge the norms. So the way that things have always been done. Right. And so there are some tools that are on the horizon that I can tell you guys about that are going to try and help incorporate a little bit faster mechanisms and things for coding transactions. So no more Googling what is the sandwich shop on 32nd and trying to match it up to a city with whoever was doing travel that month. So there's a lot of things that are coming that are going to be disrupting the way that things have been done. And those are coming out very, very quickly. And as they are, we're going to keep you guys up to date on how to use them. A lot of really, really good information there and a lot of really important things that I think will come out of that. Learning from mistakes and being open to feedback and criticism, but not allowing that to discourage you, but rather allowing that to motivate and propel you into some of the new areas, ideas, techniques, things that you can learn from, lessons learned, so that you can do exactly this. Keep your eye on the big picture and not overlook some of the details, right? Bookkeeping is a very, very detail oriented process. So you have to have your one eye on the big picture for what you're doing for the service. And you have to have one eye on the intricate mechanics and the details of what's happening. So staying true to your values and ethics is also very, very important because there's always going to be pressures to compromise those in different ways to make more money, et cetera. You want to focus on solving the problems because that's going to get you a lot farther, a lot faster than just being focused on attempting to make money with the business. And that's really something that we're going to push you guys hard on is being focused on the problem solving so that you can be a meaningful service to the business owners that you're going to interact with. That also makes your discussion, your process a lot more simple. So those are some of the things to keep in mind, and being willing to embrace some of the new technologies and incorporate them into your strategies. So those are also hugely important, and being willing to make sacrifices that are going to get you to the goals. It's going to help if you can actually clearly communicate your vision and passion to inspire others to sort of follow along. And that's something that a lot of much larger businesses are doing. So he's speaking broadly in these contexts, but always be learning and also be willing to take responsibility for the actions and how they're going to have impact. And then be motivated rather than demotivated by failure, right? I'm not going to make that same mistake again. I'm not going to make that same judgment error in, letting a client walk all over me or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of things that can go sideways and make things difficult for you. So learn from them, don't repeat them. Being persistent is also really, really difficult, even when facing the insurmountable obstacles. When he analogizes starting a business to eating glass and staring into the abyss, he says that's what a friend of his came up with. There may be some elements of truth to that on some days, but what we want you guys to focus on is what it is that your initial motivation is, what it is that's your why. And this is why setting up and using some of the tools like the goals planner is going to be so critical for you guys, because we're trying to set you up in a way that this is going to be successful. So you also want to be fostering a culture of innovation in all of the things that you're doing, and thinking long-term and sustainable with all of your solutions so that you can do all of these great services for others. You also have to take care of yourself and prioritize your health and your well-being, because those are also aspects that are going to be really, really critical. So I pulled some additional quotes here. And I think one of the ones that many people will find a bit humorous is that if you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all of the right ingredients in the right proportion. The implication there is if you were baking a cake and you forgot ingredients or left them out or had them in all the wrong proportions, it could lead to something that's rather inedible. So there's a lot of really, really useful quotes and perspectives that you can find from him. But great companies equally are built on great services as well as great products. And you want to be constantly thinking about the things that you can do better and questioning yourself on what things you can be focused on in order to get to that higher level of product or service that somebody else just can't match, right? So you want to be more compelling. This comes out of his development of Tesla trying to step into this arena with all of these large automotive giants already in place, right? These large entrenched suppliers to a market, and they want to show, how can you do these things? How do you get into that market? You have to have the guts, but you also have to have, more importantly, something to offer that's way better than what the competition does, right? And so some of the other YouTube folks out there would tell you things like, make sure that your free stuff is better than their paid stuff. So there's a lot that goes into this and a lot you can pull out of it. But also equally, you want to make sure that you understand what is possible as far as your outcomes. But then there's an amount of the probable things that can occur as well. So there's a lot more to unpack in that one than I necessarily have time for today. But failure is an option, and you want to make sure that you're innovating and doing new and creative things so that you can do this well. And then another good one here is the path to the CEO's office shouldn't be through the CFO. It should be through the engineering and design. So thinking carefully through the systems underpinning the services that you're offering. That's really what he's focused on. So a lot of really key innovative aspects there. And then the first step, so it looks like this one quote copied over twice. But it's important because you want to make sure that you're focused on the things that are probable. So the keys and maybe the major takeaways are prioritizing your investments. So following up on only purchasing the resources that are going to help you achieve the end goals. And so this is what we've been building out in order to help support you guys, and thinking long-term into everything that serves the mission to Mars is what he's going for. You need to think long-term about what gets your business to the place where you want it to be, and then encouraging the innovation. So using these new tools coming online to be able to streamline your workflows and improve the number of clients that you can serve to improve your bottom line, as well as emphasizing collaboration, because this is where you want to be involved with a community of other bookkeepers. Another reason why we have built this support around you guys, and why we want you to be able to participate, especially in the support group, to be able to better use some of these resources, and then balancing risks and rewards. So there are a couple of applications to bookkeeping, and this is where I'll have to finish for today, and then you'll talk with Megan about wins. You want to have a clear vision. You want to be willing to take risks, focus on creating something that's positive. So high quality services, keeping that talent around yourself. So being able to take advantage of the team that we put together here to be able to support you, to surround yourself with experts, being persistent and working hard, as well as innovating and pushing the boundaries. So like I said, we're going to be keeping up with these new tools to keep you trained and current, and then believing in yourself. Another area where we're really trying to help you guys, challenging the established norms and focused on the bookkeeping to provide a little bit more personalized service that's different and differentiates you from the rest, learning from any mistakes that are made and letting us help you get over those, and then solving problems. So a lot of problems out there in business. And here is where I will leave you guys with Megan to celebrate your wins. And I'm curious to hear
Kyle.
what the feedback is. So if there are any questions in the chat after the fact, I'll try and follow up when I can.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So what wins do we have this week? Hey Gwen, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm here. That's a win.
Right.
I haven't
Most
been able to
definitely.
make the, I haven't, well, I haven't been able to make these meetings with everything I've had going on, but I'm
Yeah.
here finally.
Awesome. Well, we are glad to see you.
And it's funny, I answered the survey that you all sent. And
Mhm.
a lot of the things I said in the survey were exactly what Kyle,
Mhm.
Sherry said,
Yeah.
what he had in that last frame. And I'm like, weird. Okay, because I just answered that this morning.
That's funny. Yeah, he definitely prepared that yesterday. So it was meant for you, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
funny.
It was.
Yep. Awesome. How's everybody else doing? Do y'all have some wins to share with us?
I have a sales call potential later this afternoon. So that's
Awesome.
a win.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm having a hard time, and I think it's just the type of clients that I'm dealing with, or potential clients, I should say. I have 3 or 4 contractors that, yeah, I want to go with you. I just don't have the time to give you a call and get this done or get this
Yeah.
set up. One of those things. And I think it has to do with just the field they're in. And, I'll call you on a rainy day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? One of those things. So I'm getting a little frustrated with them. But I'm kind of just backing off, and, they're going to realize at one point that they're going to need me more than I need them.
Exactly.
So it's a little frustrating. I think I have 3 out there. So it's just like, man, if I could just get these closed and get them started, because what's going to happen
All at one time.
all at one time.
Yep. Yeah, definitely just continue to follow up with them. Whether it's weekly, every other week, however often you feel like you want to follow up. But I would have like some kind of follow-up plan, and just touch base. There's sometimes where like Easter's coming up, I'll just send an email that says like Happy Easter, happy holidays, whatever, something along those lines, and not even mention anything about the quote or anything like that. And sometimes they'll come back and say, oh yeah, I meant to reach back out to you. And just like you said, being in the industry that they're in, they're just really busy right now. So when it becomes important, or hey, it's time to file my taxes, now I need it done yesterday, unfortunately, is how a lot of them operate. But yeah, if you can like just continue to follow up, and then I would try to get as make sure like whether it's the next phone call you have, the next email with them or whatever, that you're prepared and like to collect everything you can from them. So maybe it's a 30-minute phone call where they're giving you their bank account information and stuff so you can process their payment. They're giving you access or sending over statements while you're on the phone to the credit cards, bank accounts. Like you have everything you need to at least get started at that point, so you're not having to play this back and forth game too much with them,
Right. That's a good suggestion. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Well, good luck with your call. That's exciting. Is this with a contractor that you have the sales call with today?
Actually, this is with a home inspection company that does both commercial and home.
Awesome.
It's one of my only 3 people to ever reach out through my website. So
Awesome. That's exciting.
yeah, the other 2 have not been successes.
Okay.
But
It happens.
one was just not a good fit. There was too much drama. And the other
Yeah.
one, she wanted just AP, and I'm not going to just do AP for somebody without the whole bundle. That's just my personal.
Right. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, so they just weren't good fits for me.
And that's
so
okay. That's the joys of having your own business. You can make those
yes,
decisions.
exactly. So, we'll see. It was a
Awesome.
referral from a BNI member, so hopefully that,
Okay.
kind of seals the deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. That could be very helpful. All right,
I
anybody
guess
else
you
have
could
any?
call, you could
Hey,
call,
Valita.
hey, everybody. I guess you could call it a win.
Uh-huh.
The lawyer that I work with, he gave me a call and wanted me to work with him on a case, I guess you could kind of say, where I would do the bookkeeping of something that the judge gave him on titles. And he wants me to turn in my any mileage or let him know on a engagement letter mileage and hourly pay for what I do for him on this contract with cars, has something to do with dealership cars. So
Awesome.
I'm in the process of trying to figure out how much to charge him hourly. It will be some traveling, and I'm going to check on the mileage and everything like that to see how much that costs. And also, he told me don't mention that he hasn't done his 2022 taxes, but he will get with me.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah,
what's
that is
going on.
definitely a win. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. What kind of hourly though? I mean,
That depends on kind of where do you want your hourly rate to be. I know when I first started, I started out at 50, and a lot of that had to do with just the confidence for me, because I didn't feel like I knew enough to charge more than that and all that. Now if I charge hourly, it depends on what I'm doing, but it's anywhere between $75 and $100 an hour. Again, depends on what I'm doing. So, and right now I would say for something like that, I would definitely charge $100 an hour if it were me. But yeah, whatever you feel. The biggest thing is it's got to be something that you feel confident doing, and what do you feel comfortable charging him, because you got to be able to present it in a confident way.
yeah, okay, because I know he wants also a monthly report. So,
The
okay,
what report? Mileage report.
a monthly report.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you would charge hourly for that as well. But yeah.
okay, sounds good.
Yep. All right. Anybody else have any wins they want to share?
Hey, this is Savannah.
Hey.
I actually signed my third client, so I'm kind of stoked about that.
Congratulations. Yeah.
My question though is there anybody available that knows about the QuickBooks payroll? All three of them use it, and I'm kind of struggling to figure out how to make sure taxes are paid and to match like bank feed taxes paid to what's actually done, because I see a lot of red marks on some of the taxes on there. So I'm wondering if anybody can show me how to actually run payroll and like go through it and see what we can do.
Yeah. So if you want to book a one-to-one with Abby Super, she is familiar with QuickBooks payroll, and she's very familiar with payroll in general. So she'll be perfect person to help you with both those things.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Debbie, you're quiet today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Do you have any ones to share?
Not to share just yet.
Okay.
You're probably aware of them already, but yeah.
All right. Anybody have questions that y'all want to ask since nobody else has wins? If you're on Facebook, feel free to y'all can comment there because I'm watching the chat there as well. Or feel free to hop on the Zoom link with us and y'all can chat with us.
Megan.
Yes.
It's me.
Hey.
Is there a place where the Zoom link is posted?
Yes. So it's,
that-
and I think there was an issue with it today, for some reason. So I don't know what happened with that, but I'll show you, shoot, where is it? I'll show y'all where it's at. And this, where did my Zoom go? I lost Zoom. There we go. And this is where it is if you're in the paid group as well as the free group. This is where you will find, should be able to find the links to the Zooms. So when you are in the group, if you hit browse and then you hit events, you should be
Okay.
able to click on the event that is happening. This one's happening now. Usually we try to put it here. I think we had to update this one since then. I thought it was in the comments. Oh yeah. So if you click discussion, this is the most recent one. So make sure you click discussion on them just in case, because some of these, like, they're scheduled so far out. This is the
that
most
one would-
recent one.
It says March the 30th, but it would be for today.
Correct. That's the most recent one.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was hitting all kind of buttons today.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people had some issues today. We had issues in the other group as well, I think. So, and I'll try to go in after and get it updated so it's a little bit easier to find. But then also when and I think that's probably how a lot of y'all found it, when we go live, we try to put it here and then in the chat of the live as well.
I was trying to find it on the paid group, and finally Sherry sent me the link through
okay.
Messenger, and that's how I got in. So, yeah,
Yeah, I think
the
when we
downside to
changed,
being MIA for a while.
yeah,
I said
and
the
I think
downsides of being MIA for a while.
exactly. I think when we changed the times of the call, because we changed the time of the call in that group, we had to switch Zoom accounts that we were using for this group. So I think that's kind of what messed everything up. It also created a new link over there and here. And yeah, so I think that's kind of where the confusion. We have too many wrong Zoom links posted as well. So let's see. I saw a comment when I was just on Facebook. Let's see. Danny, I had scammers reach out through my website wanting AP, but it was a bogus check scam. Huh. Speaking of that, I think somebody had a payroll issue like that. I have a couple of proposals that I'm feeling hopeful about. One is a real estate guy and one to GC. Congratulations, Danny. Good luck with those. Yeah, it's a shame.
I had a
that people-
bogus.
payroll, huh?
Yeah, I had a bogus payroll, and I've had a couple more reach out to me through Webflow. And now it's like I can spot them a mile away.
That's good. Yeah.
And, my rep at Gusto, he said, well, give them the referral link, and that way you get credit for it. But I can't even get them back to answer me back when I try and send them a questionnaire or anything like that. They just, they shy away from it. Like, okay,
Of course.
that's fine.
Yep.
What is Webflow?
It is the the development deal that I got into through Cameron Montgomery. Spencer Irwin, the guy that builds the websites for his people, uses that. And it's I think $18 a month. And
That's not bad.
yeah, it's not bad. It used to be part of the package, but now they've gone month to month. But my Calendly links in there, my email links are in there, that all the information that I had on my ClickFunnels websites in there, it just doesn't have any funnels. but it is connected to Google, so that if somebody does a review, it automatically updates my website
That's awesome.
and the link to the Better Business Bureau. So it's not too bad.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to look into that. I've been looking to change my website from ClickFunnels. But yeah, hadn't made a decision on what or how.
Yeah, for one, I couldn't do the $100 a month anymore, and I wasn't
adds
getting
up.
any activity on it. And the packages, they weren't relevant to what I had going on. And
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I
just-
agree. I've had it
I
for
wouldn't.
3 years now, I guess, and I've never had a client sign up through it. And a lot of it is because most of the packages, I mean, most of what I like when I quote people, it's not cut and dry $300 a month or whatever the other packages are. It's like, oh, I need this added on, or they have in between the two amount transactions, and it's like, yeah. So it makes it a little difficult.
Well,
from that standpoint.
my first client, I sent her to my website, not knowing any better. And she came back to me crying. This is my stepsister. And she said, I need the biggest package, but I can't afford the $9.97 a month. That's too much. And so when I went in and looked, I said, well, there's a lot of things in there that you don't need. AP, AR. She's a real estate agent. She
Yeah.
gets paid on commission. And so I ended up building something for her, totally away from that. And didn't take long for me to figure out that it was a waste of money for me.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, Gwen. I got rid of mine after a month and a half because there was no activity whatsoever. It was too expensive. And I want everything to be more personalized versus just these packages that we put out on a website. So I also use Webflow through Cameron and got mine set up that way as well.
Yeah, I really like it. It's quiet. And not a lot of fluff, but I mean, we're bookkeepers. How much fluff do we need?
Yeah. We don't need fluff.
Less fluff is better.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought my other website was beautiful, but it had so much information. You're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and no business owner wants to take the time to do that. Like,
No, yeah, it gets
It's more of just-
overwhelming.
yeah, it's more of they just want to be able to look and see that you're legit and see that, that you are, out there. I've had many people say, yeah, I've checked you out on your website, but there's very little information really out there. There's no pricing, there's no nothing. So, but yeah, I definitely think it's definitely better than all the funnels, and that was just too complicated for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and two, the type of client that I prefer to deal with won't even go to a website like that. I deal with a lot with country people. And they don't have the time or the patience for stuff like that. And so they would rather deal with me directly. I mean, even the questionnaire that Bonnie uses, I copied it almost verbatim. And I have used it a couple of times, but it's really more with people that I get a bad feeling from. And I'm not quite sure that I even want to waste my time talking to them. And sure enough, it usually comes back and they're not really that serious about getting a bookkeeper. So
Yeah, they definitely have to be and ready to make the commitment, and for sure. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
have found
Right.
instead of sticking to a list, just the conversation, you find out a lot just in the conversation. So
Exactly.
instead of being a
Exactly.
drill sergeant,
yep, most definitely. That's what I
Oh,
try
come
to
on,
do.
Debbie.
Debbie's no, there's
up to.
yeah, that's what I tried to do. Just kind of have a conversation. I know when I first started, I had a list of questions, but that I kind of used as guidance, and I still I've gotten so used to using those. That's kind of what I do, but try to make it more about their business. Like, hey, what are your goals? And like really make a connection versus just, I need all this information. And I mean, you
Yeah.
do, but yeah. So totally get it.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have questions, wins, anything they want to share? We still have a few minutes. How about marketing? How's marketing going for everybody?
I have a question on that.
Okay, what you got?
How do you rebrand as someone else? I mean, my name, but you know where this is going.
Like your logo and stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Well,
Or I don't think I know where it's going.
for you to feed inquiries to someone else, you're just like the front.
Okay, so like say I'm working for somebody else's bookkeeping firm, or like I hire a contractor, they're working for me. How would they go about doing that? Essentially?
Yeah. How would?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, you could really do the same thing that you do for like your personal, like your own business and your personal page. If they have like a cover photo, or let's say you have a cover photo, for that, they could put that as their cover photo on their Facebook page. They could make posts and I would make sure that they're tagging the business and the person, like the owner of the business, in that post. That way they know, like, hey, this is the person for contact. Or if like maybe they're doing the sales and they're going to be like handling the sales calls and signing them up and all that, then they could just tag the business, but yeah, you could do that sort of stuff. And I mean, even like networking and like networking groups, a lot of the like BNI and stuff, they'll let an employee or contractor or friend or whoever go and represent the business. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the owner. So they could even do in-person networking events. Essentially, it would be the same. I would do a lot of the same stuff as you would do to represent your business, but it would just be representing somebody else's business, essentially.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help?
It does.
Okay.
It does, because you gave me some verbiage that I needed.
Okay.
It's like,
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Yep. And y'all saying that, you can have people essentially be on your sales team, if you wanted to do something like that, and pay them like a percentage commission, like 5%, 10% of whatever the services are, and then they get paid based on what they sell for you. I'm in a networking group that's like that. So you could kind of do the same thing, but just on your own. If you have somebody who's like, hey, I'm looking to make some extra money or something like that, okay, no problem. Like, give me some clients and we'll work out a commission based. And you could even do stuff like that with your current clients. If they know others who might potentially be looking for bookkeeping services, offer like a percentage or so much off of their next month if they send you referrals and things like that as well. That'll help be some extra different income and potentials coming in for sure. Maybe that you wouldn't have came in contact with otherwise. All right. Anybody else before we hop off?
You all have a nice Easter. Happy Easter.
You
Mm.
too, Belita. You
A
too.
good weekend. It's rainy
you.
and cold here in Texas, but
It's not cold here, but
Yeah, it is.
we have rain coming too. So,
Well, thank you. Everyone have a
All
good
right.
weekend.
yep, you're
For the
welcome. Y'all have a
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
y'all
you.
have a good
Hey,
weekend.
Nevada
Happy
just got
Easter.
snow, so you guys are lucky it's rain.
Yeah, Carla, one of the coaches, she had sent us some pictures there in Wyoming the other day, and they have a ton of snow over there. So yeah, a lot of y'all have been getting snow still, and it's 90 degrees here.
Oh.
It's
So
never ending.
yeah, it's crazy. All right, y'all have an awesome weekend, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Megan.
Bye. You're welcome.
Bye
Bye.
bye.